Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I have something special to share with you all. So from the box, there's several watches here. Today I'll be sharing these two pieces. So yeah, I get this to keep some of my watches to make sure that they are safe. Just put it here. Okay, so before that, I'm gonna share something about my journey so far. That I've been into three needle watches, just the normal automatic hour, minute, and seconds watch, and then until some time I searched on the internet and saw someone share about the is it pronounced as Valjokes, the 7750, yeah. So after that I was into it, and then it was so lucky that I was able to get this two piece from the owner, different owner, and then one is the Hamilton and then one is a Tissot. So for this Hamilton, it is come with the steel bracelet, more of a sporty type of watch, and then it is actually very heavy, and I think currently it's already not in production anymore. I think the reference number is yeah, H646160, yeah, if you can see here. So you can see it is writing the Valjokes 7750 here. Yep, having sapphire glass, 42mm stainless steel with a tachymeter bezel, screw down crown. Sorry, no screw down crown. It has, I think, 50 meter of water resistant. I think it's 100 meter without screw down crown. Wow, that's impressive. And then a buckle from Hamilton, not the most solid one, but it works. And then a transparent case back with a lug width of around 22, yeah. So overall this watch is very solid and very heavy. And from here you can see there is 3 sub dial here with the date. Yeah, the date is very special here. It is the date is coming up from here, and then the day is coming up from here, and then the date is coming down from here. So it's become like an up down. It's a different spin. And then there's a luminous hand on the markers as well as the hands. Yep. And a big Hamilton logo here. This is from the khaki series, if I'm not mistaken. You look at another watch, the Tissot. This is called, I think, the Bridgeport series, I think. Yep. I see on the current collection it doesn't have this one anymore, but the design have changed a little bit, I think. This one came with the original Tissot leather, but I changed it to this one. Yep, this one gives me a more classical feeling, dress watch feeling, and compared to the Hamilton, although it looks quite thick, but it shows that this one can be quite thin on the hand. I quite like it. The overall design, the dial, the hour hand and the minute hand, everything is so classical, and then the dial is just so Tissot. Yep, and then they have a internal tachymeter. Yep, the outer bezel is this kind of sandblast finish. Yep. Then when we go to the back, it has a gold what is it called, the winding rotor. Yep. And then you can see it has also 100 meter, I think. Is it 100 meter? Yep. Sorry, 30 meter. This is only 30 meter water resistant. Yep, it's very weak. Yep. So you can see it is beating at 28,800 for both 7750. Yep. and then you can see it is called the cam system, yeah, with which they use this level when you press it, other than all those expensive column wheel, they call it vertical clutch system. Yep. So actually we come back about the movement, it is when, if I'm not mistaken, during the quartz war, you know, where the quartz watches came out from Seiko, they made it a crisis for the automatic watches. And then during that time, chronograph are quite expensive movement. And then during that time, I think Zenith came out with their El Primero movement. It was quite something where only because the price tag are quite high for chronograph watches, and then there are few company combines together. I think two of them I remember is Breitling and Hamilton. They want something to be robust, you know, accurate, and yet it is cheap. So they work it out and they come out with this legendary Valdrox 7750. Yep. So although it's cheap, but it is used by a lot of big brands. For example, IWC, of course, Breitling, Hamilton, and you can see it even in Omega, and then Longines, yeah, and then of course Tissot, and then yeah, almost every brand you said they are using it. You know, Tag, Oris, yeah, and so on, yeah. And then since then, a lot of people, they use 7750 as the base of their caliber, and then some of them just use the date and the sub-dial seconds, and some even make it into calendar and then moon phase kind of thing. Yeah, so there's a lot ever since. So so after some times of wearing the 7750, I think is something, how to say, you won't actually use a chronograph like every moment, but you know, it is something extra in the dial, make it more complicated, rather than just the 3 needle always on my collection. And personally, I actually preferred this Tissot Bridgeport. You know, when you wear on hand, it is just nice, and you know, it feels like a lot more classical, and because of the Roman dial, you know, it becomes something between the olden vintage watches and the modern material or design, you can say. Yep. So to use the chronograph, yep, it is at 0 now. So there is the seconds dial, seconds sub dial. Actually they are the same, you know, like here is the normal watch seconds, you know, and then here is the minute, and here is the hour. So they are same, minutes, seconds, chronograph minutes, and chronograph hour. So when I press the button at 2 o'clock, yeah, it will start, and then this is the chronograph seconds. So there is few saying of the downside of the 7750 is that it uses all those leveling, you know, at the back. You can see it. So this side, this one, it is not so how to say, accurate, or it is not so efficient, because when you click it, you need to push the levels, so you need to push harder. So the feeling of the chronograph response are not immediate, and it is not so good compared to the better chronograph system where they use so-called column view. And then so what does it mean is that when I stop it, so to reset it, we click the one at 4 o'clock, it will go back to 0. So what does it mean? Which means is when I start it, yeah, you might see that the chronograph seconds, either it will respond slower or it will slightly bounce back and then only run, because of the levels, you know, every time you push the the force are different, and then it may take longer time for the levers to push in, to take in. Yep, to turn on the wheel, you know. And then second thing is about, they call it the vertical and horizontal clutch, which means when I run it, I stop and I reset it. Yep. When the needle goes back, it will slightly how to say, shrivel a bit, you know. Doesn't stop immediately at 0. It kind of like vibrate a bit. Although it is very slow, you can't see it on the naked eye, you know, but if you put on slow-mo video, you will see it. But of course, that's not a very big problem. And what does the 7750 brings to the whole watch industry is that it is how cheap is it compared to all those so-called column wheel and the horizontal clutch combination watches. They are easily few more times of what you can get from the 7750. Yeah, so, and then last but not least is that if you are a watch collector that will be into chronograph, yeah, I think that 7750 is something you must play with it, you know, and then have maybe 1 or 2 7750 to keep on yourself. Whether a thicker, sportier watch or dressier classic watch, I think both are just fine, and they are very reliable and robust. You do not need to worry that, if I'm not mistaken, they have their own something that calls shock absorbance system to prevent the chronograph from damaging when you accidentally knock or you drop the watch. Yep. So last thing to do is to put on my wrist. I'll show you a quick one. So I'm having a Asian wrist, 42mm on the Bojock 7750. I think is perfect. Yep. Or if this is too bulky for you, and then a Tissot with a classical and vintage dial will do the job too. Yep, so either of these, they both mix the same. 7750, same experience. Yep. So thank you very much. Hope to see you soon. Leave me a comment or drop me a message if you have something to tell me. Thank you very much.